All right. Alrighty, guys. Hey, Kath. How you doing, mate? Welcome to the podcast, guys. Welcome to the Down the Aisle podcast with Zac and Kath, and Kirk is here in spirit.
We need to get a photo of him. And just like,
It should be up there, covering the.
that should be the cover spot.
This we're going to have Kirky up in the top right
There's
or
just
your
a hook
left
behind
corner.
there. There's nothing
Yeah.
else there, but it's just a hook and it looks ugly. So we should put Kirk on there.
Definitely. So today, guys, we are going to read our top Reddit, like pretty much top horror Reddit stories or thread stories to do with wedding videography and photography coming from either the client or the vendor's perspective. This is quite a doozy. And Kath doesn't know what I'm bringing to the table, and I don't know what Kath's going to bring to the table. So we're going to read them, try and keep a straight face. There's some doozies, and then we're going to try and break things down a little bit, and we'll just see how we go.
It's not off to a good start, is it? We're already losing it. I reckon you can go first.
All right. So I'll go first. So guys, we're going to read this straight from our phone, so we're not going to be like too
antisocial,
super rude and antisocial. So the story name is called "Unto Death Do Us Part," and this is from the videographer's perspective. All right.
I don't want to laugh already.
All right. Here's a story that still gives me chills every time I think about it. It didn't happen during the wedding I filmed, but after. And trust me, it's one of those surreal and haunting experiences of my career. So a while back, I shot a beautiful wedding. Everything seemed perfect. The couple looked happy. The day went smoothly. And I delivered all the footage as usual. At the time, I was doing a payment plan. 1/3 up front, 1/3 after the wedding, and 1/3 upon delivery of the film, which I need to bitch about that.
That we need
Straight
to have
up.
a chat about that. We need to bookmark
we'll do it
that
after.
one, bookmark it.
No big deal, right? Well, I think it's a big deal. Well, a couple of months after the wedding, the final payment bounced. I figured it was just a bank issue or something. I emailed the bride to follow up, but I didn't hear anything back. Weeks passed and still nothing. Then one day I get a call, not from the bride, but from her mum. And that's when everything fell apart. Her mum tells me the most devastating and horrifying news. The groom, the guy I spent all day filming, joking with, giving direction to, had been living a double life. And not long after the wedding, he murdered his bride. I was speechless. I remember just sitting there, replaying the wedding day in my head, thinking about how normal everything seemed. How could someone do that to the person that they... Why are you laughing so much? Someone died, Kath. This is horrific, right?
This is really bad.
Yeah, I lost my thing here. How could someone do that to the person they vowed to love and cherish forever? But here's where things get even more surreal. About a year later, the bride's family reached out to me again. They asked if I would sell my footage to a production company who was working on a true crime documentary. I looked this up and it's real as well. This is a real story.
This guy's becoming
This
a
story is
millionaire.
real. All right. I agreed, but it felt weird. I mean, it was wedding footage, something that's supposed to capture a love story, joy, and all those things. But the weirdest part, when the documentary came out, they left my voice in the video. You can hear me in the background casually talking to the groom on the wedding day, saying things like, fix your tie, look out the window. Knowing what he did later completely freaked me out. It's haunting me to think that I was interacting with him completely unaware of the darkness underneath. This whole experience was a harsh reminder that you never truly know what's going on in someone's life, and you just don't know who you are really going to marry.
So...
Anyway, so that's my first story.
Did he not getting paid by the end of it? Or was like...
There's a couple of questions I think we need to address there.
First of all, what kind of client?
Let's track back to this payment plan thing is a big no-no.
No. Payment plan before the wedding.
Yeah, that's fine. You do that. Fine. I am actually looking at getting Zip and Afterpay as well, which I think is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I've heard of people doing this previously. So
don't do that.
It's 3 payments, and so a payment before the wedding essentially to secure it, I'd imagine, a payment after the wedding, and payment on delivery of the film. That is setting you up for absolute disaster.
here's your film, but I'd like the money, but it's fine if you don't send it.
You don't want to get paid for something after a wedding because weddings cost a lot of money. So they probably run out of money.
And they're going to run away.
Yeah, totally. It's very doable. Anyway, so did he get paid?
Did he get paid?
Don't know. I should find that out. Maybe
rich off this film.
The next part 2 to this this series.
Can we work that out?
We'll come back to this.
Can you please chat GPT this and be like, did he end up getting paid?
So this happened about 2 years ago. So
wild.
Yeah, so it's actually not that long ago.
Wow.
And I will, I can play a highlight of the documentary.
I don't know how I would feel.
So anyway, what else were some highlights there? I think it's funny with the murder documentary. Imagine just hearing your own voice, exactly doing what we do, like telling people, look out the window, kiss and misses.
I was just hanging out with a murderer for the day.
Imagine me like hearing me in the background saying, do seductive cereal.
Cereal.
Tell me how much you love a Wheat Bix as he's like plotting to fucking kill his wife.
So did this happen right after the wedding?
Couple months after.
Months after?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
didn't cook your sandwich right or?
Hey?
Didn't cook your sandwich right or like?
I don't know. Shit. I don't know. Maybe he was upset on how much the videography and photography cost.
Maybe that would be, I don't want to spend the rest of it. So this is how we get it. Maybe they faked it. Maybe they faked it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Very possible.
So they didn't have to pay the last third.
Yeah. That's pretty,
they worked it out that one, didn't they?
Yeah.
Sure, that to my book
So, yeah, there's definitely some red flags there, but
some red
setting the thing that gets me the most is the payment plan, to be honest.
Yeah, that straight away I was like, that's not right.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing that needs to be addressed. Obviously after the poor lady passing away.
Yeah, that's so sad.
So, but that's brutal. That is a brutal story. So
yeah, it's not funny.
This reminds me of a story about, I think it was about a decade ago or something, where a couple got married and the guy took his wife diving in like Fiji or something. And then he planned to kill her, and he did. He ended up killing her under the water and
I do remember
staged it as a freak dive accident. And they were able to uncover it, and it was all to get her insurance policy.
Being on the news, all this.
Yeah,
it's a big
it's insane.
thing.
It's just insane. So anyway, guys,
it's a thing.
So the things what the takeaways here: don't get married. You don't know who the fuck you're marrying. Who knows? All right.
Yeah. If there's some red flags, don't do it.
And if you do, hire us.
Yeah.
And in case you do get murdered, no payment plans.
No payment plans. It'll be sorted prior. Prior sorted.
All right. So what do you got for me, Kath? Shoot.
This one is a real short one, but it's a bit of a doozy. A photographer's worst nightmare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My worst nightmare as a wedding photographer finally happened. I showed up to a wedding and forgot my camera.
Shit.
Just literally
you could quickly
job.
swap to a content creator for the day.
Like you could just be like, oh, oops. Luckily the bride thought it was funny, and thank God I was super early, so I had time to go back and get it.
Ooh.
Short and doozy there, but you had one job, doll.
Hey? Yeah. That's,
you are literally the photographer.
You know what? I'll do if it was that bad? I'd have to have a discussion with the bride and probably let her slap me. That'd be okay. She gets that. And then I'd give her a refund.
Yep.
And then I would then challenge myself to create the best wedding film possible from an iPhone. And I'd film.
I reckon
do
that would work for video. I don't know if it would work for photo.
It'd be hard.
It's very,
especially portrait mode's a bit like gimmicky still.
I don't like it. No, I can't. It keeps like little bits of the bush like around your hair and stuff. It still looks terrible.
So that's what I'll do though. If I forgot all my cameras in an alternate universe,
you can't forget your shit.
I would. Bride gets a refund if she doesn't want to kill me there and then.
Yeah.
And this ends up being like a horror story that new videographers are reading out 2 years later about me getting murdered.
She would be allowed to. We would allow that.
Yeah, that's fine. She gets away with that.
Yeah.
You know? And I'd have that discussion with her, and I would probably then career change and go,
I'd be a zookeeper or something.
I'm going to be a fucking content creator, apply my knowledge of filmmaking to content creation, and then I just have 3 iPhones.
And make a shit ton of money.
And then sweet.
It's fine.
And then,
content creators make good money.
Yeah.
They make great money.
Dude, there are some content creators that make more than fucking me.
I had a bride reach out recently for photo and video, and she's like, I'm just trying to weigh it up because like the content creator I want is $1,800 for the day.
1,800.
1800.
Who the fuck is charging that?
I don't know.
No. Tell me who they are.
I'm not naming names, sorry. But I will secretly tell you after this.
Tell me after this.
I was like,
I want to hammer them and congratulate them at the same time.
I said, what are they using? She said, an iPhone.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Man.
I said, look, if you're going to spend $1,800 on that, I'd probably spend a little bit more and just get video. But
all right.
That's a doozy. All right,
That's a doozy.
your
All right,
next one.
shall we? All right. Buy now, pay for the rest of your
We're not in
life.
science. It's okay.
Actually, if I fumble my words here, I actually can't see because I've got my glasses.
I'm surprised you're not holding it out here at this point.
Yeah. I'm kind of just at the right focal length here for my eyes.
That's
My,
it's
like,
when you hit 30.
my apertures of my eyes are like
The apertures in my eye.
doing these ones.
They hit 30-year-old. That's just.
I know. I'm 35 here, mate.
Ooh.
How old are you? You're 30.
I will be.
Oh, you're not even, mate.
Oh,
Don't even
I'm
join.
29.
Don't even
I'm not
pretend like you're in this
I
club.
can read fine, thank you.
Don't
I'm
even
doing
pretend like
well.
you're in this club. Oh, mate. All right. Let me just have a. Okay. All right. Let me tell you about the worst wedding videographer horror stories I've ever come across. This one comes straight out of the Gold Coast in Australia, and it's an absolute nightmare for anyone planning a wedding. The videographer's name was James McDonald Connell, and he operated a business called Anchored Cinemas. On paper, everything looked great. His website was polished, his portfolio seemed impressive, and he promised cinematic wedding videos that the couples would treasure forever. But behind the scenes, it was a completely different story. Between 2020 and 2023, Connell took payments from 7 couples totaling over $27,000. That's a lot of money. These couples trusted him to capture their big day, one of the most important days of their lives. But here's the thing. He didn't deliver at all. He ghosted them. No videos, no refunds, nothing. This sounds like Andreas and Co.
I've got a very similar story too, dear.
I shouldn't, hey?
I've got a similar story.
Oh, right.
There's so many of them.
Yeah. There's a lot. That's the alarming thing. There's a lot of these,
This is
right?
the thing, yeah.
Imagine having your dream wedding only to realize that the person you hired to preserve those memories has disappeared. Some of these couples didn't even have backups or alternate ways to relive some of their special day. It's heartbreaking. So we shouldn't always get rid of grandma with her iPad. All right?
Yeah.
She could be your backup.
Have someone.
It gets worse. Connell didn't just fail a few clients. He left a trail of destruction. By the end of 2023, he owed over $303,000 to 91 creditors. In that year, he declared bankruptcy. The court eventually fined him $7,500 and gave him a deadline to provide some of the footage for 3 of the weddings that he had botched. This is not even an outcome. If he didn't, there would be further legal action. This whole situation is a reminder of how important it is to thoroughly vet your wedding vendors. Sure, Connell had a nice website, probably said all the right things, but that wasn't enough. Always dig deeper, look for reviews, ask for references, and trust your gut. The last thing you want is to be left with no memories and no money. The end.
The end? Full
All right. So this legit happened too.
It's a doozy.
These are real stories
This is-
from my 45 minutes of research up onto this.
Yeah, I think about an hour, I guess.
So let's go
doozy.
through that. So I think this one happens all too often. We've had a big thing. That's not someone breaking into tonight. It's the guys next door.
Shit. We're in Bondi.
Yeah. Gets a bit hairy here sometimes.
You're into the coach video.
So back to it. So let's break that one down. I think there's a real common theme here of a lot recently as well, where the Andreas and Co shenanigans, like that's kind of a bit of a repeat of that. Although I think they did probably a lot more damage because I think they saw a lot more couples.
A lot more. Yeah.
And maybe at the start, I think they had probably the good intentions that they probably discovered along the way that were very hard to maintain. And then they just saw, fuck it, it's a cash grab. Get as much cash as possible. It's kind of like a pyramid scheme wedding wagon wheel thing. Like, yeah. And on that note, we just signed up a client
We did.
from the Andreas and
it's been
Co
a couple
shenanigans. So run us through that story because that kind of ties in with this.
So she reached out to me.
Yeah.
They found out it was the day of their engagement shoot. And pardon. Let me. And Andres and Co was meant to be doing their wedding.
Yes.
Coming up in a few months' time. Won't mention when.
Yeah.
And on the day it was meant to be their engagement shoot and they couldn't get in contact with them. They actually weren't aware of the scam.
That's crazy.
I think they're a bit more hoping that it wasn't them. I think they were probably hoping that it was like a few people have been scammed and not them. Because I'm still seeing people post quite recently as well, being like, have anyone worked with X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, well, they're not even around anymore. So
I don't think they have a website anymore.
no, this is like when I was looking for these stories, it was
Yeah.
like nearly like 2 months ago. People
Yeah.
were still so it's still a thing. So
That's crazy.
you and I have worked out a really good deal for her
Yes.
and her partner.
Yes.
It's going to be a huge day.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. And you know what?
We want to help.
We're not making a whole lot of money from it.
No.
But
pretty much nothing.
we did send our first podcast. We did want to reach out to some people and do some content days and stuff like that. And obviously this podcast is super small. No one's probably, we only got like 2 listeners, which was us. My wife.
So we got 3.
My wife and your husband only supports us.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it. So that's probably why no one's reached out.
It's really
but which is cool. So this is our first kind of interaction with a couple from Andreas and Co.
Yeah.
And it's going to be great. You know, like they still get something out of it. It allows us to keep building a portfolio, and you kind of like giving back to the community a bit. You know, they got fucked on, so I think that's really sick.
Well, they couldn't afford obviously a lot because they lost a fair bit of money.
Yeah.
And they really want a video as well, but couldn't afford.
Actually, this is where you need a bit of a heads off. So you said that you were going to split
Yep, some
your paycheck
splitting.
with me. That's really nice.
Look, if you
Really
buy
nice,
me a
yeah.
coffee, this could be.
Yeah, totally. That's
So we're going to
yeah.
split that and give him the best day and
yeah, and
our best in
that's
return.
awesome. That's awesome. That's
looking forward.
yeah. So
Kirky might come along too.
yeah, Kirky's going to be doing a whole BTS day.
That'd be good for
Haven't
us
asked
too.
him yet, but
We
yeah,
have to
you'll
get
find
one.
out via the podcast.
By the way,
So-
Kirk, coming along. Can you be
Come
free?
along, he'll do it. He'll
He'll do it.
He'll
It's
have the best
fine. It'll
time.
be fine.
So
that'd be good.
yeah.
But it is a thing. A lot of couples are getting
Yeah. So
screwed over.
if there's more than 2 listeners now, guys, remember that Andreas and Co.
We're trying.
There is a class action lawsuit against them.
Yes.
And
Do not
I think it's
book with them.
58 couples have
Yep.
taken them to court.
Yep.
And most of them have been scammed out of money and all of their material, so videos and photos, and also the international editors that they've been using, and they're also victims in this.
Everyone's a victim in it. Yeah.
So yeah, these guys haven't been paid.
That's
And
bad.
they have to put. It's a complete mess. It's a complete
terrible.
mess. And I've heard of some couples being able to contact some of the the guys in the Philippines. I think they've outsourced into and stuff, and like they've also been fucked out of money as well. And
It's crazy. All right. Okay.
what's going on here? What do we got?
I'm already cooked trying to read it. All right.
right.
Let's see if I can do it.
I feel like this one's going to be a bit of a doozy.
I should have put this one in here. Okay, an awkward moment for a second photographer.
Fuck.
I need you to read it.
All right.
I was photographing the family formal shots after a ceremony. My second shooter was helping me make sure everyone was in the lineups looking their best.
Jesus Christ. Spit it out. What? Come on.
I'm trying really hard.
Oh, God damn.
Okay. No,
I don't even know what I'm laughing at here. Kath has got her own joke going on there.
All right. The bride's grandma had a...
Fuck. Oh, my God.
Okay. No, it's cooked.
Pretty sure our listeners have just gone, eh?
Rewind it. Okay. The bride's grandma had a boot on their ankle. And I noticed her skirt was kind of tucked up in the boot. I asked my second shooter to fix grandma's skirt.
Oh, shit.
Oh, this ever happens to Kirk, I'm going to die.
Oh, dear.
Hold on, we're just listening. All right, we're okay. All right. All right, I asked my second shooter to fix grandma's skirt, and the second shooter accidentally pulled down her skirt and fell to her ankles. The absolute look of shock on the bride's face, and let's be honest, everyone's was hysterical, and grandma was like, what the fuck, but thankfully
That's pretty good. Yeah.
My second shooter hiked the skirt right back up and tried my absolute hardest to keep my composure. But dear Lord, I was so secondhand embarrassed and in shock. Every time the bride and I made eye contact for the rest of the night, we'd burst out laughing. So it's not really a lesson to learn out of this. But maybe if you're going to adjust someone's skirt, don't pull it all the way down.
That's kind of funny. Yeah, look, if you don't really. I've never really had to play with anyone else's skirt.
No,
I will adjust the bride's dress, maybe, like fluff it out or something, or whatever, or the veil and that, or just get the bridesmaids. Generally, you got some good bridesmaids and well-trained bridesmaids. They should all be hovering around.
Yeah, they should all
getting shit done. So. Yeah, that's a
doozy, but honestly, there is nothing we can really.
That is kind of funny. There's nothing you can really.
No, but it just was worth putting on a podcast.
That's definitely worth. Look, just I think keep your hands to yourself. It's probably not a bad one.
At all times.
Any new ones out there? You see grandma's skirt's a bit skew-whiffy, just leave it, mate.
Do not touch anyone.
Just do that in post, you know.
Keep an eye out for Kirky Boy.
Yeah, shit.
All right, we might wrap it up there.
All right. So this will be part 1 of our horror stories from Reddit and Threads or wherever else we got them from. Google, yeah. All right, guys. So until the next podcast, which we're going to film right now. So
I'll see you in 30 seconds.
We'll see you in 30 seconds, guys. All righty.
Sounds good. Cool.